thanks for stopping by the channel. So today we're checking out this guitar from TRUMON Guitars, and there'll be a link in the description below. And you can see they have some superior packaging. I have never received a guitar with this much artwork on it, so that attention to detail is a good sign. Let's open up this box and see what we got. Alright, so this is different than I've seen before. The box opens this way instead of normally from the side. So let's see how it's packed. Alright, so that is a well-packed box right there. You've got some cardboard bracing on the side. You've got some bubble wrap. You've got a nice gig bag for extra protection there. Alright, that's a good looking gig bag there. You got this box of goodies here. It comes with a capo. That's really good for a beginner. Helps you change keys easily and just really get some more versatile sounds. It's really nice that it comes with that. A lot of new guitars in this price range do not come with that, so that's an extra. You've got some extra set of strings here. That's an extra bonus as well. You got a pick. You got everything you need right here. Oh, look, it even comes with a polishing cloth. So that's nice. Those are some bonuses there. Got a good medium thickness pick. Hey, just want to say a word. You got two sets of strings in here. They are 11s. That's light. That's nice. I usually go with 12s, but you got two full sets in here. That's very nice. This is a suede cleaning cloth here, so very good quality there. I'm excited about this capo. I mean, it's got good action to it, but the nice finish on it. But the really fun thing is you use this to pull out the string pegs on the bottom. So when it comes time to change strings, loosen it, of course, and then just slide that under the peg and pop it right out. So that's really useful, really nice. All right, inside you still got it packed up. That's good. A lot of times you order guitars, they only come with this in a cardboard box. So this is extra padding and bracing. The gig bag, that's well packed. I've ordered several guitars off Amazon and other places, and they have not been packed this well. So points to you, TRUMON, for that. And thanks so much, TRUMON, for sending me this guitar to check out. I'm really excited here. So far, so good. Let's have a look. Wow, that is beautiful. Look at that. Wow. You got mahogany back and sides. You got a laminate spruce top. You've got a clear pick guard. You can't see it, but that's nice. So it's not going to scratch. You got the TRUMON sticker here. Nice clear pick guard. You've got rosewood fretboard, and this helps. Your strings, as soon as you open it up, are going to be in better shape because of this paper stuff. All right, so you got a nice rosewood fretboard there. That is beautiful rosewood. I mean, it looks like almost ebony, how dark it is. That is very nice. It says you have a mahogany neck. Seagull logo there. The TRUMON, a nice square headstock, almost like a Martin. You got it painted there. That looks good. Your nut looks like synthetic, but it looks like a very good nut. You've got binding on fretboard. A lot of guitars in this price range are not going to come with that binding. That's going to help when a lot of guitars in shipping, especially if they're coming from overseas and they spend a lot of time in an uncontrolled climate area, a lot of times the fretboard material will actually shrink because it dries out and the moisture leaves, and that'll cause your fret ends to poke out. That's not going to happen because you've got this binding on here to absorb some of that movement of materials. And so that is a very clean fretboard. I can't feel any fret edges on that. If you do feel fret edges on other guitars that don't have that binding, you can sand it off. You can have a professional do it, but wow, that feels great. I mean, there is no fret edges there. You've got some small, classy looking dots in there, fret markers. I mean, it's got a good new guitar smell. I love the cutaway. I love the shape, the attention to detail. This reminds me of a lot nicer guitars in terms of price. You could pay a lot more to get something that looks like this. It's got, you notice the neck has a little more satin of a finish. That's trendy right now in terms of a lot of your more expensive ones. Your Martins will often have more of a satin finish. It's more natural of a feel. You got a high gloss finish right here. That is nice. It looks good, but this feels better. Your hand doesn't get stuck to it, especially if you play like I played last night at a fair and I was sweating by the end of it. This is not gonna, your hand's not gonna stick to it after you play a while. So that is a great finish. That is a plus there. This, you often don't get a guitar that has a strap button already installed in a really good spot like this. So that is a plus as well. So everything looks spotless. I mean, you've got multiply binding. That's a plus. That looks really good. I don't see any spots in the finish. They sent me this guitar. I don't know if they sent me a good one or just sent me a regular one, but this one, beautiful, absolutely beautiful all the way around. You got a nice book matching finish there. It looks really good all the way around. Now, this one does not come with a pickup. Those are easy to have installed. I have another good guitar that I use live that's similar to this one. I put an Anthem LR Bags pickup into it, and it sounds like $1,000,000. I bet you could do the same with this. There's nothing to it. You go to a shop, ask them to put in a pickup, and they're gonna install the pickup in here. They're going to do a few things inside. It doesn't take them very long. It's not a lot that expensive to have it installed, so you could go live with this if you like the way it feels. It's got a very comfortable kind of a C-shaped neck. You've got TRUMON branded tuners. A lot of tuners have no brand on guitars in this price range. You've got, if they're a little bit loose, you can tighten it right there. That's a plus. The action, you can look down the neck and see how straight it is. You might not be able to see it. A really good way to tell how straight the neck is, I've done nothing to this. This is straight out of the box. You can tell how straight the neck is. You put your finger on the 1st fret or your pinky on the 13th fret, and then if you mash it at the 6th fret, you can tell how straight the neck is. This is perfectly straight right out of the box. I'm not going to have to do any setup on that. You want about the thickness of a business card between the string and the fret. You can barely hear some movement right there, and that's what you want. You want a tiny bit of movement. If you hear a lot of movement, if you can see the space between it, then you're going to need to tighten the truss rod. But this one's perfectly set up right out of the box. Your truss rod is under there. You'll notice it comes with a tool. You don't see it in this bag. It's probably somewhere else. That will go in there, and if you tighten that, if you have too much space between the string and the fretboard when you do this, then you'll need to tighten it. If there's no space when you do this, you'll need to loosen it, and that will help you with your action and the straightness of the overall fretboard. Okay, it's not in tune. That's no big deal. We can fix that when we get a tuner. All right, so we've got it tuned up. Now let's see if that changed the straightness of the neck. It was perfectly straight without much tension on it. Let's see. It's still pretty close. You could tighten the truss rod a little bit now that we've added some tension to it. Add the neck perfectly straight with no tension. You add the tension, it's going to raise the strings a little bit. Let's see what the action is on there. You want in the 2 millimeter-ish range on an acoustic guitar, you get a tool like this that lets you measure the string height. So string height gauge. Let's put it on there. I don't know if you can see this. Let's see here. We got about 3 millimeters at the 12th fret, so that's a little high with the tension on there, but we can adjust the truss rod to get that back down to a more comfortable place. You just need your hex tool, your Allen wrench here, and okay, we tightened it a few turns there, and now we have it about 2.75 millimeters, so that is a very useful, usable height, string height there. So you could go a little more. You run, you decide how much fret buzz you're able to deal with. The lower your strings, you play harder, the more it's going to buzz. That's on any guitar. But with no pick, we don't really have any noticeable buzz. So that's a very usable string height. All right, it's got a very bright sound. Your mahogany is going to give you more of that mid-range sound. Rosewood has a little more bass, and the high end has a little bit of a different characteristic, but mahogany has a nice warm sound. So if you use your pick with the pointy end, very good sound. If you want to take away some of the brightness, just turn the pick around and use the rounded side. You see how the difference there? Bright, more full and rich. So that's the pick that it came with. I like these Dunlop Prime tones. This is kind of a triangular one. It has a nice, it sounds like you're playing with your fingers. It's a very full, rich sound. So this has got a cutaway. You can get way up high on the frets. It is you can play a variety of styles on this. It's a full enough body size. You could do some bluegrass on it. You could do some bluegrass on it. You could sing some cover songs. See, I'm way up here. That's still comfortable on making the chords way up here. A lot of times on a cheaper, less expensive acoustic guitars, the action is so high that you can't play up here, but that's not the case here. I got two mics here. We're doing Aston Origin. We got a Shure SM81, and get those close here. Let's do some sound demos here. right, so this has a very comfortable neck all the way up and down. I mean, you can, let's see if you can reach some. So you can get some good rock and roll songs out of this. It's very versatile. It's very comfortable. The neck feels very natural. I'd say of the ones I've played, it feels more like a Taylor neck than a Martin. The Martin has a little more girth to it. But it's not too thin. It's not too shallow. It feels very natural. It feels a lot like a Fender neck if you've ever played one of those. It's very comfortable. The finish is very nice with the satin on it. Now, I think it's shipped without tension on the truss rod, which is not a problem. That's a plus if it's coming from overseas, or if it's traveling across, like if you're in the US and it's traveling across, from the warehouse to wherever you live, it's going to go through a lot of different temperature changes, and so having full tension on it could cause some more problems. So what that means for you, though, you need to be comfortable adjusting that if you're going to have this in the best playable shape. And that's really true for any guitar. You need to learn to do a setup for yourself. So look up videos on how to do that. Talk to your friends. Talk to your music store locally and find out how to do a setup yourself, or pay a professional. It's not all that much to get a professional setup on a guitar, but you can get one on here. These strings are fine. You could play with those for a while, but you could get a setup and a brand new set of strings. This guitar, as good as it is right now, is going to sound even better. It's going to play better. It's going to feel better. It's going to sound better. You're going to feel more confident. So learn how to do a setup, or pay a professional to do one yourself. This guitar has what it takes to stay with you for a very long time. If you're a beginner, this is a solid investment. Go ahead and invest in the setup. Either learn how to do it yourself, pay a professional. I've been playing it here a little while, and it takes it a while to acclimate. So I'm going to tighten this just a little bit more. Now, I've played a lot of guitars in my lifetime. I've played a lot of different price ranges. I can say, in 100% honesty, this is the best $200 guitar I have ever played. You can get these on Amazon. It is solid all the way through. I mean, I have not found a flaw in it yet. I mean, I had to tighten the truss rod. Okay, I had to do that on some much more expensive guitars that I've purchased before. So you can rest assured you are getting a quality product with this. You're gonna, with the one caveat, you're gonna need to do a setup, but that's very easy. You saw it was just a few turns on the truss rod, and I've got that action in a very, very good spot. So Truman, thanks for sending this out. I'm going to hold on to this. This is going to be a good player for me. I can't wait to see what I can do with this. This is going to be a fun guitar. I think I may have another pickup put in it, and I'll take it with me on some gigs so I can play it out live. It plays, it feels that good. It feels much more expensive than it is. So, hey, thanks for tuning in. Have fun. Keep playing.